Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Let's get after it.
You're soon going to be able to order sunlight at night with your phone. This company, Reflect Orbital, is doing just that. They're developing an app that lets you purchase sunlight reflected from satellites in space directed to your exact location on Earth so that you can have personal access to the sun's light all night. And you're not going to believe how big these spots of sunshine will actually be. Their main goal and target market for this project would be for solar power farms to continue operating at night. Because even the best solar panels in the world are still only working 50% of the time. Every day after the sun sets, countless hours are wasted as they sit in darkness and no longer produce energy. These guys wanted to change that. They plan on building a fleet of thousands of reflective satellites in space with giant mirrors that shine sunlight on billion-dollar solar farms at night, allowing them to continue operating essentially 24/7 if they perfect their satellite position and timing just right. They're obviously focusing their efforts on these solar farms who can actually profit from this nighttime sunlight, but it seems like they're also toying with the idea of opening it up for consumer use as well, allowing you or I to direct a beam of sunlight in the middle of the night to our exact location using an app on our phones, and may actually prove to be somewhat useful for things like hikers who get lost and don't make it back before sundown, or just camping in the woods, as long as it's not unreasonably expensive. But honestly, I feel like a service like this ain't gonna be cheap. The test videos they posted online are so far just simulated examples of how the concept would work using hot air balloons, but you can actually pre-order a spot of sunshine at night through their application form, open now, which says the spot of light you reserve will last for 4 minutes and be 5 kilometers, that's a little over 3 miles in diameter, which I'm sure ain't small. And gets me thinking, how on earth is anyone going to order themselves this night sunlight without waking half the damn city up? Either way, they're still working on the full launch of their sunlight on demand service planned for Q4 2025.
Well, apparently this is a real thing. I sure thought this was just a couple guys trolling the internet for fun. What makes no sense though is that they're trying to solve a problem with solar panels that was created by the government. Y'all know the technology's been discovered to make solar panels much more energy efficient, right? The government just doesn't want them to work better because then it'd have an impact on the electrical grid and the economy if suddenly everyone had actual working solar panels that can actually power your home.
In the Garden of Eden story, we find this being called the serpent, right? And the word used, and it's always about the word. That's the thing these Christians don't understand, is like we have to look at the Hebrew, Middle Eastern contextual history and the word and everything. The word that was used instead of serpent, or originally, was nakash. And nakash is a double meaning word. It can mean serpent, but it can also mean wise one. And whoever wrote the Bible, they did a lot of this on purpose. They used a lot of words that could be playful, and there was a surface level understanding and a more mystical, esoteric understanding. So the word nakash again means serpent and wise. Enki, the Sumerian god, he has always been known as the wise serpent. His symbol was always that of a snake or a serpent, and he's always been known as the god of knowledge and wisdom. For example, Sir Henry Rawlinson, who was considered the father of Assyriology, he concluded that it's clear to our ancestors that Enki was the god of wisdom and the god of the serpent and the snake. So again, whoever wrote Genesis was compacting all of this ancient mythology into this simplified version. In the Garden of Eden story, of course, the serpent, tries to convince Eve to eat this apple or whatever it is, consume this drug so that we will become like gods. That's what the Bible says. Eat of this, you will become like gods. And when we did eat it, again, in the Bible, there is a plurality. After we eat it, God says they have become like one of us. Go back, open your Bible. I don't know what verse that is, but it's in Genesis. God says they have become like one of us. And again, if you understand the ancient historical context, who they were talking about, these us were the Anunnaki.
I can't help but wonder, if the story of creation is just a retelling of the Anunnaki creation story, where does the apple come into play? So if we were made in a lab, which is possible, but I'm not completely convinced that's the case, what happened in that lab that gave us the knowledge of the gods? What rule did we break that was translated into the story of the apple being eaten? And if Enki was the wise one who told us to eat the apple, wasn't he one of the leaders of the Anunnaki? Why would this be such a big deal that one of the leaders decides to give us more knowledge? It just poses a million questions in my head with no answers. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and you like this type of content, I make a new one just like it every day, Monday through Friday, around 3 p.m. It'd be awesome if you'd hit that subscribe button and come back on Monday to join me. Also, if you'd like to see the latest episode of our podcast, the link is down in the description.
And what Disney just did blew my mind. Do you guys remember the story I told you guys about the doctor that died at Disney Springs? January.
Peanut allergy or something, right?
Yeah, peanut or dairy allergy. And they served her something with it. She died at the restaurant. Like, it was like a big deal. And apparently this guy, the husband, is trying to sue Disney Springs or Raglan Road or whoever because they felt like they were negligent, which is totally fair for a widower.
Sure.
This is bad. This could happen again. But apparently, Disney is in court. They're having discussions because they say, listen, you've signed something that says you're not allowed to sue us. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. When did I ever sign anything? They said, well, in 2019, you signed up for a month of Disney Plus.
Shut up!
And in that contract says we are not liable for any type of things. You cannot bring any type of legal.
No.
You can't sue us through anything.
This is to go to the Supreme Court.
It's gonna be nuts.
So when you do the accept the terms and conditions,
Yeah.
you're
It's literally like-
saying you can never sue Disney for anything, even on their
Yeah.
own property. If your wife dies,
Yes, dude, a public restaurant.
yo, Disney, get out of here.
It's crazy.
out of control. You know something? At
We're
this
never
point,
going back to Disney again.
You know what we need to do? We need to bring the concept of a terms and conditions agreement
Yeah.
to the Supreme Court. Because apparently no one's reading these!
No, and no one's assuming that covers your death in 5 years.
There's no way this is going to hold up in court. This is just Disney trying to pull a fast one on their consumers. This is shady as and I can't help but feel like this is yet another bad move by Disney that's going to blow up in their face. Personally, I'm ready to see Disney come crashing down. That company is no longer the family-friendly company that makes appropriate children's content. They're just some propaganda-pushing arm of the government. We're better off without them.
Have you ever heard of the GATE program?
No.
Program that was started way long ago back in the 80s. It was this program that was put into schools, and schools would pick out certain kids. It seemed kind of random, and they would just do certain testing and reading and stuff like that. It's just kind of a cool system, right? The problem with this program is that they're funded and created by the CIA. They would bring these kids into a windowless room, sit these kids down, and they would test them, being blindfolded in these tests as well, trying to move things. They would take field trips with the GATE program
No.
outside of the school. In one instance, they took kids into a museum, into a room where there was a mummy, and they had them stay overnight with no parental supervision.
What?
All this strange things, and it just doesn't make sense. And for the CIA to be involved, you know there has to be something malicious.
Yeah.
These are children. These are impressionable children that could be manipulated. But it's a fascinating thing because there's so much conspiracy around it.
That's so weird.
That's it. We're homeschooling.
Is it just me, or did it kind of seem like the CIA was looking for a child with natural telepathic capabilities or something? That's what this sounds like. If I had to guess, they were looking to see if certain kids had abilities we lose as adults. Perhaps abilities that could be used to sway the direction of a war. We all know the CIA has investigated pretty much every aspect of possible superhuman capabilities. This just makes perfect sense to hear that they did something like this. Not surprising at all.
Lord forgive me for what I'm about to show you. So we all know who Shaquille O'Neal is, and a lot of people don't know, but he's actually a DJ. He goes by DJ Shaq Diesel, and he's been doing this for a while, but he recently had his first 360 show that sold out in LA, and the visuals that were on the screen of this performance were very dark. Now, before I show you these demonic visuals, listen to this. So if you've been following me for quite some time, you know that if I see anything demonic or satanic, especially in concerts, I'll always post a video about it. And about 5-6 months ago, whenever this comment was, there was a show where it looked like someone was getting possessed, something you see straight out of a horror film, so I made a video on it. It went pretty viral, and Shaquille O'Neal, DJ Shaq Diesel, saw this and he commented on it, and what he said was very interesting, right? You can make a conspiracy out of this. He said, "They even got me, man. Save me, someone please." And now, just a few days ago, he does this LA concert, and wow, I'll tell you what, this visual is the last thing that I would expect from an ex-NBA player. A robot or some type of AI person thing being crucified on a cross with chains holding them to the cross. I mean, this is wild. I mean, you got all the lights flashing in your head, and you have this message being ingrained with hard style dubstep and EDM. I mean, sheesh. Next, you have a skeleton with Baphomet horns holding a fireball. Okay, I know I said it already, but you have to realize this guy plays really hard style music, so it kind of is moving with the beat of the lasers. So, I mean, the energy in this crowd is wild. I thought this visual was the creepiest one, and the reason I found out about this concert is because someone posted this on TikTok and said, when you go to an ex-NBA player's show but end up going to a satanic ritual instead, something like that. And this is a woman doing weird hand motions, looks like she's praying over the crowd with horns and red eyes and a hooded gown. I mean, for some reason, this has to have some type of symbolism, right? I mean, I think you kind of get the idea now. It's just continuous demonic visuals. Not every single one was demonic, but I'm just showing you the ones that are, and there are a lot that I didn't post, but there's no need to just go through all of them. Here's something that a lot of people don't know about Shaq is that he is a open and very proud Freemason, and he always wears his ring, and a lot of the times on live television, he'll actually show it off. Watch this clip.
What is going on there?
That's a ring of my profession. You don't know nothing about that.
Okay, well, can we get a close-up on that area?
What? You don't know nothing about
What
it.
is the profession? Yeah, which profession are we talking about?
Just look at it.
Is it a legal profession?
Of course it's legal. It's a ring of my profession.
I'm trying to read it. Okay.
Right,
It's too many diamonds.
Yeah, that's too bright. That's too bright.
Well, anyway. Oh, Mason, are you a Mason?
Of course I am.
Okay. You have a secret ceremony.
Well, you might as well put your pinky out when you drink your drink.
Course I am.
Wow. Put your pinky out.
You know, in the secret ceremonies with the pencils and the... Everyone wears...
Anyway, the Clippers.
Very, very interesting. Now, I'm not saying the two are correlated, but I think interesting is the perfect way to describe that whole clip. I mean, he shows a massive ring, and once they start talking about it towards the end, he's like, anyway, the Clippers and Rockets, trying to get off subject. But I mean, after reading the comment he left on my video saying, oh, they got me, someone please save me. Could be the truth in plain sight, man. I know everyone's real, oh, bro, he's trolling, and that's how concerts are nowadays, but unfortunately, that's the damage all of this has done. We all think everyone is just trolling, and that all of this is just the new norm, when, to be honest with you, it's really not. This is coming from someone who would always go to concerts like this, and I know that's how hardstyle EDM is, where there's a lot of visuals like that, but I'll tell you what, with that music, you can make a lot cooler visuals that are not demonic and that don't suck your energy and, you know, make everyone do these mosh pits that just, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. That's my 2 cents on it. Wild stuff going on nowadays.
It's sad to see another celebrity caught up in this stuff, and it doesn't even make any sense why they keep going back to this demonic imagery. It's not like every time an image of a demon pops up on screen, the crowd goes wild with excitement. People are actively complaining about being subjected to this kind of stuff at shows, and it's still going on.
He saw an abandoned hospital on fire, but when he looks closer, he sees this. A man named Mario from Mexico works next to an abandoned hospital and explains that he often hears banging and crying sounds coming from there, but nothing as bad as this. While waiting for the fire department, he decides to record it. A figure can be seen through the window just standing there in the burning room watching Mario, before quickly hiding out of view. Seeing as the whole room is on fire, there's no way someone could just be casually standing there. Mario also says he caught a glimpse of horns, and believes it might be a demon just watching him.
I don't know what that was, but that's the kind of thing you see that keeps you from being able to sleep at night.
It's called the Wall of Benin. It's like one of the world's largest structures, but I've never known about it. And it was in Nigeria. It was the capital city, but they made interconnecting walls that stretched over 10,000 miles. And it was all man-made, and it was like the world's largest structure. But the British destroyed it in 1897.
Wow.
When they were colonizing it.
Lame.
But that's enough wall to circle the United States 3 times.
What?
It says 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China.
How have I never heard of that?
That's what I'm saying. Even the people of Nigeria now, they don't even know about it. So like people are trying to like discover more about it to teach them of their ancient culture and stuff.
They started in 800 AD
Imperialism.
and continued until 1460 AD.
Yeah, they said it took 150 million man hours to build.
Very
Miles long.
little remains today. How is that possible?
Because the British destroyed it.
All of it.
Imperialism.
Is that not insane?
That's crazy.
Yeah, never heard of it before.
I just thought that was fascinating. I've never heard of this. It's not surprising that it was destroyed by the British when they colonized the place. That, particularly, is a tale I've heard over and over again.
Have you ever had a rainbow directly over your house 3 nights in a row? Because that's what I experienced this week. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. So what I decided to do is go check out other people's rainbows. And what I found blew my mind a little bit. Not only did I find this, which is maybe the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in the sky, but I found this beautiful looking, almost angel looking rainbow. I found this video where this couple literally drive through the end of the rainbow and listen to them. It's amazing.
Oh my god, the beginning of 2 rainbows. Oh my god! I can't believe this. I don't know what it means. This is so cool. We're in the rainbow. What is it? What does it mean? This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's moving with us. I know. There it is. We're gonna drive through it. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, what does it mean? We did it.
I found this amazing video where the rainbow is literally side by side with a twister that forms. So freaking cool. And last but not least, my friend sent me this still image of this rainbow, and look what we both saw above that. I promise you, no one did some CGI action there. That was there when he took the photo. And well, if you still think rainbows are just caused from sunshine shining through water droplets, maybe you should look at how many layers of the firmament there were supposed to be. 7. And how many colors of the rainbow are there? Oh, interesting. 7. Must just be one of those coincidences I'm always talking about. Yeah, that's it.
Again, I just can't wrap my head around the flat earth argument when it comes to rainbows. I feel like if we were in a dome, the rainbows would all look the same from the ground, depending on your perspective to the center of the dome, slightly skewed to one side. I could be thinking about this wrong, though, because there's not anything to reference to test my theory, but that's what makes sense to me.
This eerie footage was captured live on national television in Argentina. The program, called Fenómenos, which was broadcast live and focuses on weather events in Argentina and around the world, was doing a weekly broadcast of upcoming weather when something was captured on camera. The translucent figure of a man was captured on a live security camera overlooking the boardwalk in the city of Corrientes, which was being shown on screen during the broadcast. Eagle-eyed viewers began calling the station when they noticed the eerie figure on the show. The figure looks like it is running, and you can only see the upper half of the body. Watch this.
My best guess on that one is that someone's just simply jogging at night and that camera didn't pick up their entire body when they ran through the scene, because these cameras reuse the background imagery and only render what's moving a lot of times to save on memory. That's why you get so many glitches that look like half a body walking without the other half. I got a visitor. For those of you who are wanting to meet him, this is my buddy Nibbles. He doesn't like being held very much. Want to say anything? If I could find her, I got another little kitty cat running around here too. They're not usually allowed in my room, but I started filming and left the door open.
The world is an absolutely chaotic place. This is my series on why we should have an optimistic point of view for the future that we're building, because I truly believe good things are coming. So in the previous videos, I was talking about the cyclical nature of humanity, but today I want to dive into one of the biggest problems we've had since the dawn of time: control, power, turning chaos into order. Specifically when it comes to human beings. Now, human beings had a complex battle for survival until the point where we became more sedentary, right? We introduced farming, different things like that. This introduced a new power dynamic. With more and more people, how do we control them? History is filled with thousands of different systems of rules, rulers, and the whole focus is who should be in control, who decides the rules, and how do you enforce them. Now, there's always been an appeal to authority, whether it be a king, an elected official, chosen by God, whatever it may be. There needed to be the person or the system that people look to give them the rules to abide by. Obviously, I'm being very, very simplified with this because there's things I want to get to. Borders are just imaginary lines that separate different areas that have different rules for how people should live. People fight for the right to live by the rules that they want to live by. People argue over what is the best system with the best rules of how people should live. Rules, laws, consequences, these are all things to take chaos and turn it into order. Okay, stick with me. So most people have heard the quote by Nikola Tesla that says, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, okay? Have you seen these experiments where they pour sand on these little plates? The metal plate will vibrate via a tone generator, okay? That is a specific tone, vibration, frequency. What happens when it starts vibrating? Take a look. It takes the chaos and it creates order. Do you see where I'm going with this? Take a look again. This is going to be a different frequency. Again, they're pouring sand all over. There's a different pattern. The frequency creates order. Everything in the visible universe has a unique frequency vibration. Actually really interesting because there's some science that talks about if you find the frequency of specific cancer cells and you match that frequency, you can cause the cancer cells to combust. Similar to how people can shatter glass with their voice. If you flick the glass, you match the frequency and the tone that it's making. If you match it perfectly, it will start to vibrate with such intensity that the glass will break. Maybe you've seen the experiment with tuning forks and the ping pong ball. If you hit one tuning fork, the other tuning fork, if it is the same, will match the tone, the frequency, the vibration. Human beings are vibrational beings. This is why we often talk about vibes. You can feel the vibe. We are like tuning forks. People talk about being empaths and feeling other people's emotions. They are in tune with the vibration, the frequency of what the other person is experiencing. This video is going way too long, but basically what I'm trying to say is if you have not gone down the rabbit hole of vibrations and frequencies, you should. There is high vibrational food, there is low vibrational food. There's high vibrational clothing material, there's low vibrational clothing material. High vibrational mindsets, low vibrational mindsets. To go back to this example, society conditions you to have very low vibrational thinking. You are fed low vibrational foods to keep you in a low vibrational state. But one of the reasons why I'm so optimistic about the future is via social media, we have never been connected like this ever before. On a daily basis, people around the world are seeing my videos. I'm connecting with people in Germany, in Australia, Canada. And I firmly believe that as human beings find a similar frequency, you might hear people always talking about like the earth is raising its vibration or people are raising their vibrations. As we find that frequency, as we find that vibration, it naturally creates order. This is why truly to heal the we, you need to heal the me. The chaos in the outer world is a representation of the chaos in your inner world. It is an individual journey just as much as it is a collective journey. The only thing you have control over is you. Anyways, let me know if this resonates with any of you, but to me, I'm definitely seeing evidence of the vibration rising. What people call this battle of good versus evil, it isn't good versus evil. It is a spectrum between low and high vibration. Society heals the higher we go in vibration.
And that was our good clip for the day. This is absolutely a rabbit hole worth going down, and I couldn't agree more that things seem to be on an upswing. There's absolutely a mass awakening happening right now. I see it probably more than most because of the type of content I produce. But if you're freaking out and thinking that the world's falling apart, while I would agree with you in some regards, I do genuinely think that things are going to get better. But guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. I hope you enjoyed these clips we watched together today. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And check out www.barry-stepp.com if you'd like to order yourself a shirt or a hat and help me support the channel. I greatly appreciate everyone who's ordered anything off of there so far. Also, don't forget to post your photos of your merch over in the Discord to get your photo in a video. But with all that out of the way, I hope everyone has a great, safe, fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will see you all on Monday.